Fraction division problems. So steps to success start with, we need to read the question. We need to make sure we read the question carefully, and then from there we need to draw a picture of that question. Once we draw the picture, hopefully that allows us or helps us to find the answer. And then our final step is just to check to be sure that our answer makes sense. So put it back into our number model, and let's just see if what we found does seem possible. Let's look at our first question here. I have 5 pounds of jerky, and I am splitting it into 1/4 pound bags so that I can share with my friends. How many bags of jerky will I have to share? So what I did here was, I'm just going to use circles for the 5 pounds of jerky, and I need to split my 5 pounds. Each of these circles equals a pound. All right, and I just need to go through and split these. So, you can see I went ahead and I split each pound into fourths. So that means each pound was 4 bags. And now I'm going to number them. And it looks like I can get 20 bags of jerky, 20 1/4 pound bags of jerky. So my number model for this question looks like it would be 5 divided by 1/4 equals 20. And now to show my check, see if this makes sense. If I take 20 times 1/4, does it equal 5? I can do this problem 2 ways. If I multiply straight across, that equals 20/4, which does equal 5. Or you can do 20 divided by 4, which is 5 times 1. But it looks like that my work checks out and that my answer is 20 bags of jerky that I'll be able to share with my friends. Let's take a look at our next question. My next question is, I have 10 pounds of strawberries to sell at the market. I plan to sell them in half-pound baskets. How many baskets do I need? So I need to make sure that I have enough baskets. Probably need to go out and buy some. So I need to do some quick math. Again, I use the circles for my picture, and now I need to split all 10 of these pounds into half so I can figure out how many I'm going to need. Once I split all 10 pounds in half, now I need to go through and count, and by counting I'm just going to label each half so I can figure out how many baskets I need. And it looks like there will be 20 halves. So my math problem, well, first let me write in my answer here. So it looks like I may need 20 baskets. So if I do 10 divided by a half, it will equal 20. And if I show my check, let's see if this makes sense. 20 halves equals 10. Let's see. If we go straight across, that would be, does 20 over 2 equal 10? And since it does, we have ourselves an answer. All right, so this answer looks to make sense again. And for a final bit of practice, I'm actually going to answer a question that looks very similar, but we're going to find our answer is very different. You can see here I have 2 problems. I have 1/3 divided by 3, and then I have 3 divided by 1/3. The numbers are the same, but this is just to show you how important the order is. Also, 1/3 divided by 3 is the type of problem from my last video that I showed about division fraction problems. And we could see the steps that it takes to solve them. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at the picture. So I have 1/3, and I need to split that into 3 equal sections. Here and here. But I'm actually going to extend all of my lines to show what it looks like with the whole thing. Here. So now, at the bottom, my 1/3, I can also say, is 3/9. Okay, because once I split that into 3 equal parts and I extended my lines, it looks like I made an equivalent fraction. So now I'm looking at, I can say I have 3/9. And now I need to take my 3/9 or my 1/3. I'm going to rewrite it as 3/9, and I need to split it into 3 equal sections. Well, that seems to make a little more sense, because if I look here and just focus on one box, I know that one box, okay, would be 1/9, and I believe that's going to be my answer. So if I go back in and I check it, let's just see. If I have 3 1/9, the question is, do I have 1/3? We can multiply straight across. I get 3/9 equals 1/3. If you're not convinced yet, I can simplify by dividing 3 over 3. And if I divide 3 divided by 3 is 1, and 9 divided by 3 is 3, and that does equal 1/3. So it looks like my answer to 1/3 divided by 3 equals 1/9. And I used my picture to pretty much do all that work. Now let's come over here and look at what does 3 divided by 1/3 look like. First thing first, I'm going to divide my 3 into thirds. I put a little mark in the center to help my picture look good. And you can see here I took each circle and I split it into thirds. Now what I can do is I can count, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it looks like here, how many thirds does it take? Or 3 divided by 1/3 equals 9, and that's because it takes 3/3 to equal 1. So if I go back through to check, let's see if this makes sense now. Come down here, so to check, if I have 9 1/3, does it equal 3? We go straight across. 9/3 equals 3, and 9/3 is 3. So we do get that 9 times 1/3 is 3, or we know that 3 divided by 1/3 is 9. So you can see just by switching the numbers around, one answer is 1/9, whereas the other answer is 9. So very similar, but different. Again, I hope this helps. If you need more practice on the first question that I did on this last slide here, 1/3 divided by 3, there is another video that you could watch where I talk about that a little more in depth. I hope this helps.